Hey, up level 2, I'm back. I want to do a little follow-up video on all of the comments because at the very end it was hard to really see where the comments were. So I just want to come back on here and I really want to say you guys are amazing. What an incredible group. There's already like 470 comments and 1.2 thousand views from their group. You guys are so engaged, so amazing, and so I just want to really give a huge shout out to Ange and Nick. You guys, all your group is incredible, so I'm so honored. I'm so honored to be a part of just this incredibly positive and giving group. Okay, so I want to answer some of the questions that were in the comments. So let's see, we have Holly said, do you know, how do you know if you're meditating correctly? Great question. Again, there's no right way or wrong way, but I'm going to get into, because one of the common themes in these questions, because I've written them all down all here, is how do you know, what are the signs that you're meditating correctly? How do you know? And then why am I getting emotional? And because it's very common, people get emotional during meditation. And then another question was, how do I have my mind wandering? And then another one is, why do I keep yawning in the middle of meditation? So I'm just going to answer a few of those kind of general ones because they were in multiple comments. So one, Holly, is that you don't really know if you're doing meditation correctly. There's no wrong way of meditating. So there's definitely different signs. Okay, so one of the first things people ask is, how do I make it that the mind chatter, my mind keeps going every direction, how do I begin to focus it for meditation? So one thing is to become what's called the observer. So instead of, you're not gonna make all that mind chatter go away, especially at the very beginning of beginning meditation. But what you can do is you just don't entangle in it. So imagine that it's like actually the clouds are rolling by, that's your thought forms. One's like, oh, I need to go to, go grocery shopping. The next is like, I can't believe that she said that to me. The next is like, whatever, all these thought forms that are coming through your consciousness. Well, you don't have to entangle them. And as soon as you don't engage in them and energize the thoughts, you actually, there's a space within you that's called like the observer, that gets to a place where you just can observe. And as soon as your consciousness and your mind realizes she's not buying in, she's not going to entangle in these beliefs, in these thoughts going through, it will begin to have your mind chatter go down. So it takes years and years to have the mind chatter completely disappear, but you can definitely not engage in it. So this is the point of doing all this meditation also, so that you can go back into your world and be able to have the world chatter at you. The whole mind, the whole world is like mind chatter. And you get to go, that's fascinating. I'm not going to engage in that, insanity over there. So another question is, let's see, Sammy, what would you suggest to do when you are in a situation where you get stressed out? Okay. Oh yeah, this is a really important one. So Sammy had asked about upsets. So meditation, one of the primary reasons about meditation is to actually be able to use whatever breakthroughs and advancement you have in meditation back into your life. So it's very common. I remember being very upset years back. I was actually in a dysfunctional relationship years ago. And I had a mentor at that point in time, and I'm like, I'm just so upset, I can't handle it. And so he walked me through some steps that helped me so much when I got upset. So one was just becoming aware of the upset, realizing that the moment that we put a positive or negative meaning on anything, we instantaneously have a negative or positive feeling in our body. So no matter what occurs out there in the world, we do have a choice to respond in a neutral space. And that's the point of getting to that neutral space. Instead of assigning it positive or assigning it negative, we want to get into a neutral place where we can see all of life exactly as it is and not react to it and choose something new. So for me, I remember at that point in my life, I realized, and I had to commit, I had to decide to say, I'm committed to being in peace within myself and living a non-dysfunctional life. And so what happened was I had to choose peace as first, my number one. And what I realized is that there were certain situations and certain people that couldn't be in my life for me to be able to have peace. But then other people were able to be, or sometimes I had to learn how to put a particular boundary on each relationship. So these are the things that you learn in meditation, because you learn how to neutralize the thoughts and how to get in that space that's beyond everything going on here in the physical realm. You get to be able to be in that neutral observing space so that when you go back into your world and there's some kind of incident or something happens that you would be upset with, you now can have the choice to go, yeah, I'm not going to just react to what just happened out there in the world. There's a little space between what occurs in life and your ability to react. And when you're able to live in that space, you're able to have power over your circumstances. You're able to have the cause over life and be able to create what you want. Okay, so next question. Samantha, will my concentration get better with meditation? Great question. Okay, so meditation, again, there's kind of two aspects, like a spectrum of meditation. One is emptying the mind into nothing, and the other is directing it into full concentration. So directing it into like mindfulness and emptying the mind to be able to receive the universal wisdom, you want to get into emptying the mind. Concentration is more about directing it through things like mantras and things like that. So directing it specifically over and over again to where you are you're zoned out and you're enjoying your meditation, and yet you're still saying the mantra. So this is your full concentration area over here. Emptying the mind into a silent meditation is more about emptying all your limited beliefs, clearing out all the programming that you've ever had from your family, your friends, the culture, life, the movies, media, newspapers, whatever it is, and getting into a place where you're able to receive a higher level of consciousness from the cosmos. Okay, let's see. Luis, I'm feeling anxious and uncomfortable every time I try to meditate. Very normal, Luis. One thing I know for sure is that there's only one thing going on in life, and it is all designed for your awakening. So this is brilliant, because all that anxious anxiety and all those thought forms is actually exactly what needs to be neutralized. So that anxiety, like a mentor said to me, the only way to the other side is through. And so all that anxiety, all that stuff needs to rise up. It's like coming to the surface through your soul so that you get to just be with it. And when you get really comfortable with being uncomfortable, life begins. Okay, so Stephanie, how do I do silent meditation? So I think I answered that a bit. The best thing is to have patience with yourself. So silent meditation, again, is about emptying your mind. So the first time I meditated, it was terrible. It was awful. It was like someone had their fingernails going down the chalkboard. It was so hard for me. So the first thing is to know, as you're going into silent meditation, very few people are disciplined to really go into a silent meditation. So you may find that doing some mantra, doing some guided meditations is an easier way to ease into it, because the most important thing when it comes to meditation is for you to enjoy the process. Because if you don't enjoy the process, then you're probably not going to keep doing it. So if you have to ease in through mantras and through guided meditations, it's great. But at some point in time, I believe there has to be a point in time when you go into a silent meditation where you have nothing, you're hearing nothing, and you're going to the place where you're able to stream in. So the best suggestion I can say for silent meditation is go in small spurts and just be a witness for all the mind chatter, and just find that little gap that is beyond that. That's the witnesser. That's that part of you that is eternal. Okay, so begin with that. So you've got tons of other questions. Camille, how do I know if my meditation's working? Again, there's no wrong way of doing it. So it's kind of like, I always imagine that, when I first swam like in the ocean, it was really uncomfortable. It was cold, it was scary, there was these big waves and whatever. And then now, if you're a really advanced swimmer and surfer or something like that, you go in the ocean, it's like, woohoo, I'm here, and it's all this blissful because you've built this amazing relationship and trust and good experiences in there. So you're gonna know that you are meditating just by doing it, because the more you go in there, it's just allow the process. There's so many things, there's no wrong way of doing it. It's impossible to do it wrong, okay? So next, let's see. Hannah, I love morning meditations, but nighttime I get really sleepy. Is this natural? Hannah, I would say if you're really tired, I would take a look at that. Are you getting enough sleep? Because a lot of people don't get enough sleep and it affects their whole life. So I would say if you're getting that tired at meditation, maybe you need to be getting a little bit more sleep. Just a thought, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, if you're sitting, it depends. Are you sitting in an actual meditation position? It's very important that you sit up straight because there's an actual energy field that goes through your chakras, that goes through the center of the earth and out to infinity, okay? So if you're laying on your bed, I mean, people can do it. Some people meditate in different positions, but I would highly recommend, for me, I definitely like to sit directly up in lotus pose, which means my legs are crossed, and sometimes I have my fingers like this. There's many different, these are called mudras, the way you move your hands. You can also just place them in your lap or put them on your knees face up or down, whichever. It's okay. You don't have to be, any way is okay. You can still have incredible epiphanies, incredible breakthroughs without doing some very specific regimented meditation. It's time in that relationship. So again, imagine it's like spending time with a dear friend. The more time you spend with them, the more rituals you have, the more celebrations, the more good times you have, the more you're going to just want to go back to that relationship. So that's what you're doing. You're building the relationship between you and your higher self. So just think of it that there's no wrong way of doing it. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Tips on keeping the mind from wandering. Again, I would say just making sure that you've handled everything in your day. Turn off your phone, turn off even the lights and just light a candle. And make sure that you're holding a sacred space. And that's why I say doing it at the same time every day in the same place and making sure it's a sacred space where no one's going to bother you or interrupt you, because your mind is enough to deal with, let alone things out there. So just beginning to have whatever mind chatter is going on, just watch it. Just don't buy into it. And you may get off track. All of a sudden you find yourself in some thought and all of a sudden you're out here and in your to-do list tomorrow at the, on your computer, you're finding yourself mentally doing that. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, don't beat yourself up. Go, okay, I wandered off, no big deal. Come back to center, come back to center, come back to center. And eventually you're going to stop getting off track as much. Okay. Let's see what else is here. Oh yeah, someone asked, I wish that we started with Om Namo Gurudevnamo. We have a Kundalini person in the house. So a lot of the times people will open up a meditation or a yoga practice. And just so you know, yoga is the uniting. It's actually not just a physical thing. Many people think that yoga is just this physical exercise. Yoga is actually meditation. Yoga meditation is yoga is meditation. It is the union, bringing the lower self and the higher self together, uniting them. That's what yoga means. It means union. So Om Namo Gurudevnamo is a Kundalini thing that at the very beginning we check in and we chant Om Namo Gurudevnamo. And this means calling to the highest creator, that source that I am creating it. That's what my name is. Sat Nam means the truth is the name. Guru is not to some man or somebody that I need for a guru. Guru is the technology of taking the dark and transforming it into the light. And then Dev means deity, divine. It means the highest masters. So we call on the highest masters here right now into this meditation. And then Namo, again, is my true name, the truth of that I name myself, I command myself, I reverend myself. So Om Namo Gurudevnamo is calling on that grand creator that I am, that's within me, that has that technology and is the inner guru that awakens through this meditation that I call on right here and right now to transform anything going on with all the master energy that is in my consciousness and is everywhere out there and everyone that's ever lived that's masters. Okay, so that's that question. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Would it be best guided meditations? Oh, and then someone said, I just can't stop yawning. So this is kind of common. I would imagine it's just because the body is is energizing. It's trying to get, what happens in meditation is you literally create new neurons, you create new cells, you are doing so many things because you've got this new intentional energy that has very, very specific energy of healing, of transforming, of revealing the truth. Because we don't heal, we reveal. The healing comes out of the revealing of the truth and consciousness. And as the mind expands, all kinds of miracles happen. In fact, there's no such thing as miracles. Miracles are just simply glitches in your current belief system. Because, anything and everything's possible in the quantum world. So I hope I answered most of your questions, you guys. I am so honored to have been invited into this extraordinary group. Again, big shout out to you guys, Ange and Nick, and have a wonderful day, you guys, and look forward to just hearing all the amazing stories about meditation. It's been just a game changer for me. So keep it up, you guys, and namaste. Have a great one.